Good morning, students. Today we will discuss on S block elements. We are happy to welcome you for the BSc second semester 21-22. So here first we will see what are S block elements. To explain S block elements, you should know how these elements are classified in the periodic table. So in the periodic table, elements are classified into S block, P block, D block and F block based on the last electron or the valence electron or the differentiating electron enter into S orbital, P orbital, D orbital or F orbitals. If the electron enters into S orbital, differentiating electron enters into S orbital, so then they will come under S block elements. Similarly, if the differentiating electrons enter into P orbital, so they will come under P block elements. Similarly, the rest of D block and F block elements. So here in the S block elements, mainly, so these S block elements contains the elements with NS1 and NS2 general electronic configuration. So therefore, NS1 elements are those elements in which contains one electron in the valence orbital. So here alkali metals comes under this group of elements. Similarly, NS2 elements are those elements in which it contains two electrons in the valence orbital. Alkaline earth metals are placed or grouped under NS2 under group 2 elements. So both alkali and alkaline earth metals comes under S block elements. So therefore, in the modern periodic table, elements are classified into S block, P block, D block and F block elements based on the differentiating electron or the valence electron enter into S or P or D or F orbitals respectively. So therefore group 1 and group 2 elements having NS1 and NS2 comes under S block elements. So here example for this, lithium and sodium, so they belongs to alkali metals, whereas magnesium and calcium are placed or coming under alkaline earth metals. So here you can see in the slide with different colors where the elements are placed in the S block, D block and P block and F block elements with different colors. So therefore, so they will be grouped as S block, P block, D block and F block. S block at the one extreme, P block on the other extreme, in between D blocks are placed and at the bottom you can see F block. Next we will focus on their characteristic properties of the features of S block elements. Most of the S block elements are metals, so they have metallic character. So they have low electronegativity. Usually the electronegativity is -1. So they are all form easily basic oxides or hydroxides. They will readily form ionic bond with fixed oxidation state. For example, Na plus, NaCl or NaH. So they are all oxidation state is fixed. Na plus. Calcium chloride oxidation state is Ca plus 2. So the very special features or the characteristic property of these alkali earth metals and alkaline earth metals are they will give characteristic colors to the flame. Sodium must give yellow flame, golden yellow, calcium brick touch. So therefore different elements will give different colors to the flame. So they have got weak tendency to form the complexes, unlike transition elements. Transition elements will readily form complexes, as you studied in your PUC classes if you remember. Otherwise again you have to go in detail about coordination compounds of the complex compounds in the fourth semester. Okay. Next you can see how they will give a different colors to the flame. Lithium deep red, sodium yellow in color, potassium lilac, rubidium bluish red, cesium blue, calcium brick red, strontium blood red, and barium as will give apple green color. So that is how you can see how they will be tested in the flame, how they will give the different colors to the flame. You can see that the color of the flame, right? When you dip a glass rod glass rod containing these salts in HCl, and if you held to the flame by mixing the sample in acid, it will give a different colors that you can see from the figure itself. Okay, then where you will see these elements and why they are placed along with hydrogen, or hydrogen is placed together with alkali metals. So therefore you can see hydrogen, the first element in the periodic table, also placed in the S block elements. So therefore, so that you can have to study under the Sardinian position of hydrogen in the periodic table. Due to resemblance with alkali metals and halogens, it is placed in the top of the first group. So what are the resemblance with alkali metals? One electron in the outermost orbital. So they are monovalent. Then they will form unipositively charged cations. What is my monovalent? Valence is 1. So they will easily give one electron. Then one electron in the outermost orbital. Okay. So because of the one electron, they will easily donate that one electron. So therefore they will positively form cations. Then both hydrogen and alkali metals are electropositive in nature. So they will have a positive charge. So therefore they are electropositive in nature. Hydrogen and alkali metals are good reducing agents. You know what are reducing agents? Reducing agents are nothing but, so they will reduce this itself, it will be oxidizes, right? So therefore here this hydrogen readily combines with oxygen and it will be removing the oxygen from the peroxides or oxides. So therefore it is a reducing agent. So then they will form easily oxides and peroxides. What are oxides? Compounds of oxygens are nothing but oxides. What are carbides? Compounds of carbons are nothing but carbides. What are nitrites? Compounds of nitrogen are called as nitrites. What are peroxides? Compounds of oxygen which contains two oxygen atoms. That is why the name is called as peroxides. What are the difference between hydrogen and alkali metals? Hydrogen is a gas, whereas alkali metals are solids. Hydrogen has a high ionization energy or the potential, whereas alkali metals have low ionization energy. Only hydrogen atom form anion by taking one electron. So it will be contains only one electron, so therefore easily it will lose one electron and it will form a H minus. Then hydrogen is very small in size compared to alkali metals because it is a very small, atomic number is 1. So therefore it's a very small in size compared to the alkali metals. Then what is the resemblance between hydrogen and halogens? Both halogen and hydrogen molecules are diatomic. So therefore it contains two atoms. Like halogen atom, hydrogen atom can gain one electron to form anion. Hydrogen will, when it will take or receive one electron, it will become H minus. When it will take one electron, it will become Cl minus. Both halogen and hydrogen combine with electropositive metals like sodium or calcium to form halides and hydrates respectively. Halogens will combine with sodium chloride, or hydrogen will combine with sodium hydrate. Calcium will combine with chlorine, calcium chloride. Calcium will combine with hydrogen, calcium hydride. So that is how it will form a hydrates and halides very fast. Ionization energy of hydrogen is of the same order that of the halogens. Ionization is the energy required to remove one electron from its outermost orbital. Okay. Then hydrogen forms hydrate with carbon, while halogen forms halides. As I told you in the beginning itself, the compounds of hydrogen are called as hydrates. Compounds of halogens are called as what? Halides. So therefore, what happens here? Combination of hydrogen and carbon are nothing but they are hydrocarbons. Combination of carbon and halogens are nothing but they are halides. So halides of carbon tetrachloride, CCl4 is a compounds of carbon with halogen or chlorine in particular. Okay, hydrogen in organic compounds can be substituted by halogens under similar conditions. So benzene easily reacts or substituted by hydrogen of the hydrocarbon, that is benzene C6H6, to form C6H5Cl, and the other product is HCl. So therefore it shows that hydrogen can be easily substituted by halogens. Then we will focus on the differences between hydrogen and halogens. Hydrogen has half-filled s orbital. The configuration is 1s1. Halogens have a configuration of ns2 np5, okay, in the outermost shell. Halogens are highly electronegative compared to hydrogen. What is the reason for that, students? Why halogens are highly electronegative? They contain more electrons. For example, they contain 7 electrons in their valence shell. Only 1 electrons to complete the octet. So therefore easily they will take 1 electron and they will complete its octet, and it contains many number of electrons compared to single electron in hydrogen. Then hydrogen has a very small tendency to form H- compared to that of halogens. Electron affinity for hydrogen is smaller when compared to halogens. Halogens are bigger atoms, so they need more electrons. So therefore, the electron compared to hydrogen is very, very small or low. Then hydrogen is a reducing in nature, whereas halogens are oxidizing in nature. So hydrogen will be giving its 1 electron, whereas halogens will be taking 1 electrons. So here halogens are oxidizing in nature, whereas hydrogen is a reducing in nature. So in terms of oxidation number, increase in oxidation number is an oxidation, decrease in oxidation number is a reduction. Okay, then we will see what are hydrides. As I have mentioned in the beginning, so these are very, very easy, because in the chemistry, if you see, the answer is present in the word itself or in the question itself. So binary compounds of hydrogens are nothing but they are hydrides. Hydrides are classified as ionic hydrides, covalent hydrides, complex hydrides, and metallic hydrides. Typical example for this ionic hydride is sodium hydride and calcium hydride for the ionic hydride. Covalent hydride, silanes, SiH4, PH3, phosphine in H2S. For the complex hydrides, lithium aluminium hydrides. For the metallic hydrides, titanium hydrides and nickel hydride. What are ionic hydrides? By the name itself, you can see ionic hydrides. They will give readily ions, or they readily combines with the electronegative elements to form a compound. So therefore they are called as salt-like hydrides. Sodium chloride is a salt. Similar to sodium chloride, sodium hydride. So therefore the name is called as what? Salt-like hydrides. So without salt, we can't no taste for any dishes, right? So therefore what happens? Salt is essential. So there in chemistry, salt means what? Which is our favorite salt? Sodium chloride. So here also in our house also, every day we will see sodium chloride in the table. So that is why it is called as what? Table salt. So here it is also called as what? Saline hydrides. What is saline hydrides? Salt-like in nature, all alkali natures. So therefore salinity. So therefore the alkaline nature is due to what? Because of the combination with alkali metal. That is why it is a saline hydrides. Ionic hydrides are formed by alkali metals or alkaline earth metals. And here, so this preparation is very, very easy. The direct combination of alkali metals with hydrogen will give what? ionic hydrides. What are the properties? Properties, first one is what? Ionic character. Ionic hydrides means naturally it shows ionic characters. Ionic characters of alkali metals and alkaline earth metals increases down the group. Why it increases down the group? As the atomic number increases from top to bottom. Lithium atomic number is 3, sodium is atomic number is 11, potassium is 19. Okay, so therefore atomic number increases from what? Top to bottom. If you see the alkaline earth metals, similar nature you can see or observe in the case of alkaline earth metals, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. So similar nature. So therefore ionic property means readily it will give ions as you move from top to bottom, or as the atomic number increases from top to bottom, or the elements atomic number increases, ionic character increases. So therefore if you understand in a very simple way, as atomic number increases, ionic character also increases. What is meant by reducing property? Ionic hydrides show reducing property at high temperature due to the formation of nascent hydrogen. What is nascent hydrogen? Hydrogen atoms are called as what? Nascent hydrogen. So therefore it will be readily combining with oxides, pulling this oxygen, and it will become a nascent metal atom, so that the other products are hydroxides. So these are good reducing agent. What is meant hydrolysis? Hydrogen gas is liberated. Reaction with water. All in the chemistry, the reaction is very, very simple. What is why? So if you remember my standard, so that is what is the standard I used to say. If you see the question properly, the answer is flashing. Answer is coming immediately or striking to your mind. Hydrolysis. Hydrol means what? Water. A reaction with water is nothing but it is a hydrolysis. So the question is, what is the question? What are the products when ionic hydrides reacts with water? It is simple. Ionic hydride, sodium hydride. When it reacts with water, you are getting sodium hydroxide, and hydrogen gas is liberated. Similarly, calcium hydride, when it reacts with water, you are getting calcium hydroxide and hydrogen is liberated. What is electrolysis? So there also, reaction with water is called as hydrolysis. Reaction with the electric current is called as what? Electrolysis. What is electrolysis? What is electrolysis? When it reacts with when you pass a electric current by placing a ionic hydride in the molten state or in the liquid form, it will liberate hydrogen gas at the anode, and metal is liberated at the anode. If you consider sodium as sodium hydride as an example, sodium will be liberated at the cathode and hydrogen gas will be liberated at the anode. So what are the hydrides? How the complex hydrides will be formed? So when these ionic hydrides reacts with aluminum chloride or any of the halides, you are getting a complex hydride. So complex means what? More than two elements are present. That is why the name itself what? Complex. Not easy, right? Not a simple. Like simple salts are a simple compound. That is why the name is called as what? Complex. Finally, we will see what are the applications of this ionic hydrides. So it will have excellent applications in different or variety of applications of this ionic hydrides. An equal amount of lithium hydride and calcium hydride are used in the portable hydrogen generators. You know the significance or the use of these hydrogen generators. So therefore in the portable generators, you can take this ionic hydrides which will give or it will be supply electrical energy. Then ionic hydrides are used as a condensing agents in the organic synthesis to condense, to split into the products from the main products or the main starting material. So they are used as a condensing agents. Okay, so they are also used as a good drying agents. Why they are used as a good drying agents? Hydrides contains hydrogen, it will remove the water. So therefore what happens here? So they are very good drying agents, or they are excellent drying agents. So they are also used as a very good reducing agents. So by itself, why they are reducing agents? Hydrogen is present. When hydrogen is present, it will easily remove the oxygen from that. When it will remove the oxygen from any of the compounds, they are nothing but they are good reducing agents. Okay, then they are also used as important reducing agents. Okay, then ionic hydrides will liberate hydrogen when heated, and therefore they are used as a solid fuels.